It seems that you really need an education on how this stuff works, and I'm going to give you one today. I don't think that you're going to entertain any offer from the city. I will say that the offer is pleading to one count of disorderly conduct, and I'll find you. Let me finish what I have to do. Let me finish what I have to do, okay? As far as the procedure is concerned. This is no. Let me finish and I'll answer your question. We're here on an arraignment for Mr. Reginald Linton L. On one count, entering without permission. That's entering dwelling without permission. That is ticket number U61322121, complaint number U61322121. The maximum possible penalty for that is 90 days in jail and or $500 in fine if you found guilty of that. We're also here on complaint number U61322221 in violation of 38-11-2 of the City of Detroit Municipal Code. The other violation is 314-1 of the Municipal Code for the entering without permission, and then the possession of cocaine is in violation of 38-11-2. Both of them are punishable by maximum possible penalty of 90 days in jail and or $500 in fines. I'm going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, sir, and I'll set a $0 personal. Crack cocaine, and the last time I checked, crack cocaine is not legal to have in the city of Detroit. This is the City of Detroit versus Reginald Ray Linton L. Case numbers U613-22121 and U613-22221. Appearance for the record, please, or appear if he doesn't want counsel, then that's fine too. Do you want Ms. Hatcher to represent you, Mr. Linton L?
No.
All right. State your name for the record, sir.
I'm not here to contract with you. I'm just here as a meeting of the minds to get this case dismissed because there's no corpus delicti, and I'm not a state, federal, corporate entity, ins legis, if you will.
The documents speak for themselves, and that's what I was talking about. I spent the morning, part of the morning, reading all the documents that you provided, sir. And like I say, from what I can gather and from what I know about cases like this, you're trying to say that you're sovereign. The Constitution doesn't allow the city of Detroit or the state of Michigan to be able to police their streets and protect the health, safety, and welfare of their citizens, and that the laws that are codified under the state of Michigan and the city of Detroit do not apply to you. Is that correct?
Well, the thing of it is as it states here, if you read the document, as it states, I haven't harmed anyone. There's no corpus delicti. My going to visit someone.
It is a corpus delicti. They indicate that you have crack cocaine on you in the city of Detroit. And the last time I checked, crack cocaine is not legal to have in the city of Detroit.
The so-called Great City of Detroit wants to trample freedoms by outlawing a community-wrecking, brain-melting drug, and somehow they're the bad guys? Give me a break. Police car light at this point, I honestly can't decide what's tougher. Being a crackhead, being a sovereign citizen, or being the unholy fusion of both. Because that's not just delusion. That's a full-blown collision between stupidity and self-destruction. Collision.
There's no doctor that's going to be able to give you a prescription for it, and this is the allegation that they made. Now, I'll tell you this. One thing I will acknowledge, and I will acknowledge that as for the E-block ticket, he did state in his pleadings that he was allowed to come in this house. He was invited in this house, and the house was fully furnished, and he was invited. So I don't know. I do have some question about that. That's what trials are for, and he's made that. He's at least made that case and asked for the crack cocaine ticket. I don't know. Is there any way to determine that it was actually crack cocaine? So those are issues that I have with the case. But as far as what you're filing, I don't. I really, the stuff that you've put together, it seems like you've taken a lot of time with it. But you're also kind of contradicting yourself in your own pleadings when you cite the Michigan Court Rule 2.02b that allows me, and it says that I can take judicial notice. And particularly in that document, it says, when discretionary, a court shall take judicial notice without request by a party of one, the common law, constitutions and public statutes enforced in every state, territory, and jurisdiction of the United States, and two, private acts and resolutions of Congress of the United States and of the legislature of Michigan, and ordinance and regulations of governmental subdivisions of agencies of Michigan, and the laws of foreign countries. So at one point you're saying that these don't apply to you because of your sovereignship, but then you cite a court rule that's saying exactly the opposite. That I can take
subject matter jurisdiction, and also, again, I'm gonna go back a little bit. Going to this home where the guy unlocked the door and said what he stated. Now I went there to actually go.
Now I don't want you to listen. Let me stop you right now. I don't want you to state anything that may. I don't want you to state anything that, because now is not the time to defend yourself against those charges. I'm just saying that I see that in your pleading. Wait a minute. Just let me listen. I see that in your pleading, and on its face, then I probably would agree with that. If you go if somebody invites you to a home and it's fully furnished, it doesn't look like it's it looks like they own it and live there. I don't know. On its face, that sounds like a good argument in your behalf. I don't know what the police are going to say. I don't know whether they have the ability to say that this property was not theirs, the person that you claim it was. But for the most part, I thought the argument would be a pretty good argument. But all this other stuff that you filed, I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I have no clue.
Well, you need me to elaborate? Exhibit 1.
I mean, well, like I say,
Exhibit 1 is an authenticated birth certificate. Exhibit 1 is an authenticated birth certificate. That's actually expatriation. Exhibit 2.
First off, expatriation isn't a magic escape hatch. It means voluntarily giving up your citizenship, and it isn't done with a hashtag or a poorly worded manifesto. You have to do it at an embassy, follow the legal process, and get it approved by the very government you claim to be abandoning. Don't buy the nonsense from self-styled experts who make it sound effortless. It's not. If people genuinely want to expatriate, fine, do it the right way. And while we're on the subject, call immigration and let the system run. Enforce the laws and remove anyone who's here unlawfully.
Let's go to that. Let's go to that portion. I read that portion, right? And you filed a document with the county, with the Wayne County Register of Deeds. And in this document, it says, a state conveyance deed. And this goes back to October 14th, I guess, of 2014. It looks like, or 2019, wherever that is. And it says that by first party grantor, Reginald Ray Linton Estate. a foreign estate whose original address is 814 Jefferson Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee, to second party grantee Reginald Linton L., a indigenous man, secured party whose mailing address is this mailing address I won't say on the record. And then it kind of goes through what you're conveying, and it gave some consideration. Well, first of all, I'm looking at it like this. All right, are you saying that I'm conveying my estate of 814 Jefferson Avenue? Or because when I look at this conveyance of a deed, that means you're conveying some property to somebody. And then if you're looking at it, if I take what I believe you're trying to say, is you're trying to say I conveyed Reginald Linton estate to Reginald Linton L. I'm not going to spend too much more time on it. I'll let you state your but because this hasn't been responded to by the city. Then let me just go through with some other stuff that I said. You got a document, United States Department of State, to all to whom this present shall come. Greetings. I certify that the documents hereunto annexed is under the seal of the state of Tennessee, and that such seal is entitled to full faith and credit. Okay, I mean, are we talking about your birth certificate? That's full faith and credit. But you're not referencing any of these documents under the seal, so I don't know what you're talking about. Then you provide me what I had to go look up, that the World Political Asylum card and the World Government of World Citizens card. So I go to their website and I looked it up. And in the last paragraph of the World Passport, it says, a passport gains credibility only by its acceptance by authorities other than the issuing agent. So that in of itself, for this passport to be authentic and people support it and recognize it, the other people beside the World Passport people have to be able to say, I recognize that as an authority. And I don't know if the government of the United States recognizes this as any authority.
I'm going to take a wild guess here and say the United States doesn't recognize passports from the Kingdom of Narnia. Lion-faced scroll, you can't stroll into court waving a fantasy document stamped by Aslan and expect anyone to salute. This isn't a fairy tale. It's real law, real consequences, and zero patience for make-believe sovereignty. Balance scale fire.
I use it to get into the federal building to take care of certain issues. And as far as the document you were speaking in terms of the Department of License and Regulatory Affairs, there was a diligent search done on my name to show that there's no liability or no corporate entity that has been registered under me. And the other issue is with all what you have before you is because, well, yeah, courts are operating under federal debt collection procedure, and all officials, federal and state.
I don't know where you get that authority and where you say that. You haven't cited that in your brief at all, and I don't know that to be true. I know that the courts are operating
and the alleged the laws that you quote and preside over your Michigan citizens with are statutory and codes.
Right.
Exhibit 5 is a certified document from the Library of Congress where there was an act to provide for a government for the District of Columbia, and which happens to be a municipal corporation, which happens to be where you are, a municipal corporation. Now, the document that you stated about the United States of America, United States is given full faith and credit and so forth, is where a legal search was done by my name. And see, I'm not my name. My name was given to me to distinguish me from you and so forth. If you go and look at, I think it was Exhibit 5 with my identification on it, states that Memphis, Tennessee Republic. It says nothing about a District of Columbia or a private or municipal corporation. I wasn't born in a corporation. So there's the subject matter jurisdiction. And here's the proof that I'm not a ens legis, if you know what that is off the top of your head. You might have to go research that too. That's a creature of the law. See, legally, you guys can do what you do, but how much lawful it is, as you state that you operate under the Constitution. Well, if you go back and look at my signature on my identification, UCC 1-308, not to be compelled to perform under any unbilled contract that I haven't entered into without knowledge and knowing of all said contract. And I don't have a contract with you guys or the state of Michigan. And
Well,
again,
yes, you can. Listen. Yes, you can. Listen, let me just say this. I know you're not going to believe what I'm saying because you have formulated your own belief, but you can criminalize a company and a corporation criminally responsible. You can do that.
Okay, so here's the thing. That officer, which is not an officer of the court, issuing out contracts for me to engage with your municipality, and him issuing a contract, he don't have a right to issue no contract to me for me to engage with you. And then, as a matter of fact, that's why I quoted in here in the affidavit. That's why I quoted in the affidavit on page number 4. It states, who may serve generally, process in civil actions may be served by any legal competent adult who is not a party or an officer of a corporate party. He's an officer of a corporate party. You operate corporately, and where you work is corporate, and he's a private mercenary. I have several Supreme Court cases where it states that police officer has no constitutional duty to even protect anybody. So he has no constitutional duty to protect. He don't have a right to harass either. Now, the other thing about some cocaine, he didn't have a warrant to search me or my truck.
When are these geniuses gonna learn to stop snitching on themselves? Man face palming, you just went full confession mode. Admitting to driving around with illegal substances like it's story time, and in the process you just torched every possible defense you could have had. Collision, congratulations, you didn't just hand the prosecution the case, you gift-wrapped it with a bow. Wrapped gift, this is self-incrimination on hard mode. And the courtroom doesn't do sympathy for stupidity. Balance scale fire.